Good day, football fans all across the globe, and welcome to my live broadcast. My name is G Wills, and you are watching G Wills Daily Sports. Today, I'll be talking about the Premier League fixtures. For today, I'll be analyzing the games. I'll be talking about the kickoff time. I'll also be giving tips for those that want to predict these games today. So stay tuned, and I hope we're going to have a wonderful time. Now, the first game for today will be kicking off by 1:30 p.m. West African time, and that's the game between Brighton and Liverpool. Now, Brighton and Liverpool, this is going to be an explosive game because we all know that Brighton love to play expansive football. Liverpool, on the other hand, they are on a run. And this run that Liverpool are on is because they've been able to close the gap between themselves and Manchester City. The gap is 6 points, but if Liverpool win today, it becomes 3 points, with Liverpool still to face Man City before the end of the season. Like most pundits have said, the outcome of that particular game between Man City and Liverpool might just determine who wins the Premier League this season. Now let's dive into it. Brighton and Liverpool. Liverpool are on a run and they cannot afford a slip up. Though during the week in the UEFA Champions League, they were not really impressive. By the end of the day, they made it to the next phase of the competition, even though they lost 1-0 to Inter Milan. So that said, let's see. That said, I feel that Liverpool will have too much for Brighton to take. So I see that game, or my prediction for that game, I see Liverpool running away with the victory because yeah, Brighton a tough nut to crack, especially in their home, but I see Liverpool winning that game. I see that game ending. Can say Brighton 1, Liverpool 2, or Brighton 1, Liverpool 3. With that game, at least there should be 3 or more goals in that game. So if you want to stake in that game, just make sure you're staking 2.5 over 2.5 or Liverpool straight win, because Liverpool will definitely win that game. Though anything can happen in football, but I believe anything can happen. But I believe that Liverpool would win that game because I mean, even though since Salah came back from the AFCON, he has not been his best. He has not been playing his best. Though he has been playing well, but the goals have not really been coming in the way it used to. But I think with Salah, Mane, and Jota, I mean, then they still have a well-stacked bench. So I give the victory to Liverpool. Liverpool will nick that game and close the gap between them and Man City to 3 points, which would leave for a tantalizing last few games of the Premier League season. Now, that said, we should remember that Mo Salah is still the highest goal scorer, or the top, or the leading goal scorer in the Premier League this season, and followed by Jota. So you're having about 3 Liverpool players like in the top 10 top goal scorers this season already. And in terms of assists, you're having Alexander Arnold, a fullback, being being miles ahead of some other players that play from the midfield position in that sorry, in the assist chart. I mean to say. So now enough of Liverpool and Brighton. Let's move to the next game. The next game is the game between Brentford and Burnley. Now that game will kick off 4 p.m. West African time. Now Brentford started the season very well. In fact, their first game in the top flight was against Arsenal. The Arsenal lost that game 2-0, and they went on to have some good performances. But recently, their performance has derailed, and they are now descending down the pecking order on the Premier League log. So that said, Burnley themselves, they've been surviving over the years. Sean Dyke has been doing a good job with them. It has always been the when. It's not about how or whether they're going. That has always been when will it be. Some pundits are saying it's going to be this season, but I guess we just have to wait and see till the end of the season. Burnley find themselves 18th on the table. They occupy they're in the relegation position or the relegation spots. Then the relegation spots, they are there with Watford and Norwich. But Brentford and Watford, what do I think? I think it's going to be a very interesting match, and I feel both teams might just cancel each other out because Burnley are fighting for their life, while Brentford are trying to have a little bit of breather so they don't find themselves where they are not supposed to be. So that said, I'll go for a draw. If I'm to predict that game, I am going for a draw. I'm seeing that game ending on that game that feel okay. They want to stick. They just want to watch. They want to be a neutral fan to watch the game. They want to stick. I think what I the tip I'll give is you can shift towards Burnley. Maybe you can make it an X2 because I think Burnley have what it takes to grind out results, especially at this particular time, at this period of the season, because Sean Dyke have done it season in, season out for more than 5 seasons now. So I would say X2. That's you play the double chance, Burnley win or draw if you're to stake. But it's going to be a very, very tight game because I see both teams as actually wanting the results to help better their position at the bottom end of the Premier League log. Okay, so we'll move to the next game, which is the last Premier League match for Saturday. That game is going to be like a colossal jostle because it's going to be between Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspurs. Now, Manchester United have been going turvy, through a topsy-turvy phase over the past few seasons. This season in particular, a lot of fans are really, really devastated because they had high hopes based on the signings that Manchester United made, bringing in the GOATs, Cristiano Ronaldo, bringing in Jadon Sancho, bringing in Rafael Varane from Madrid. All these signings brought hope to the club, and everybody felt okay. Manchester United will be competing, they'll be contending, they'll be title contenders. But we've actually been able to separate the title contenders from the title pretenders this season. And Manchester United, they've actually been underperforming. Let me put it that way. Tottenham are still not far from that same boat where Manchester United find themselves, because Manchester United are having a caretaker manager, Ragnick, who took over from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But his results have been mixed, and on the table, Manchester United, they are not just where they're supposed to be. They are not in the top four. Same with Tottenham Hotspurs, who brought in Conte, and they felt Antonio Conte as a serial winner was supposed to make things, better for them. You know, their performance has been up and down. Today, they'll play so well. The next week, the performance will just be underwhelming. So this game is a game where these two teams would want to stake their claim for the top four position, for the fourth position of the Premier League that is currently occupied by Arsenal. So I see this game as a make or break for their top four, because a negative result might affect the players' morale and might just when you have a bad run or a bad game against a top six opposition, sometimes it can make you go on a bad run, maybe two or three games bad run on a losing streak or draw, but the morale of the team will not just be the same. So that said, I'm seeing this game to be explosive, like in terms of goals. I feel there will be goals in this game. There will be goals, but I think both teams are going to score. Both teams are going to score in this game. I believe that. Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't fit to play the last game, but I believe he will be starting tonight, because he'll be raring to go and try to put Man U in the top four position. So my prediction for this game, I see a Man U victory, 2-1. So I think for those that want to stake, you can play it go. If you want to stake, you don't just want to watch, you want to make money from it, just play both teams to score. So I see the game engine is like a 2-1 in favor of Man U or a 2-2 draw, but definitely I don't see Tottenham winning this game. And this game is a game Man U have to win to turn their season around. But if they don't, if they both play a draw, then what more can I say? But that said, that's about it for those games. Okay, now let's dive into something else. Um, Transfer rumors. Even though I didn't know I was going to talk about that here, but I think I should just talk about this briefly. Um, Transfer rumors. A lot of news outlets have been carrying this news, including Paul Sports. They've been carrying the news that Haaland, if you know him, the sensational Norwegian striker Haaland. This news that Haaland has already agreed personal terms with Man City. I don't know how true that is, but that is the news that's making around, that he has agreed personal terms with Manchester City. I'll be talking more about that in my next broadcast. I'll be talking more about that, and there's another interesting news that's actually out there as well. And that news is that Kylian Mbappe will be flying to Madrid next week, since his contract will be expiring at the season. So I think if the rumors are to go by that he'll be flying to Madrid next week, we'll probably go and discuss personal terms with them, since at the end of the season he will be free to go. So probably you can sign a pre-contract if you want. So that is the news, the rumors that are coming out of the internet. So let's see how it goes. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it comes to pass or not. So that said, I'll give you a recap of the Premier League games again. So for those of you who would want to watch the games and you don't know what time the games are going to be played, the recap of the games again. The first Premier League game for today would be starting by 1:30 p.m. West African time, and that's the game between sorry, that's the game between Brighton and Liverpool. Then the second game will be taking place by 4 p.m. The game between Brentford and Burnley. Then the final Premier League game for today will be taking place by 6:30 p.m. and that's the game between Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspurs. And that game is going to be a crunchy affair. And like I said, it can be a make or break for each of those teams because a positive result might just reignite the top four ambition or might just revitalize the team and give them a stream of good results going forward after that game. Can just be a morale boost for the team that wins that game. So we'll see what happens at the end of the day. Um, that's it. I want to thank you all for joining my live, and I hope to see you all later in the evening when I'll post another video. So stay tuned to the channel. Then for those of you who loves to stake, I'll just give you a recap of the stakes you can make for the Premier League games today. Just a recap. So for the first game for Brighton Liverpool, you can either play that game 3 or more goals, that is over 2.5, or you play it Liverpool straight win. Any of these two should be a winning bet. Then we move to the next game, which is a dicey one between Brentford and Burnley. I think that game is 1.5. Can play that 2 or more goals and work in that game, or just play it double chance Burnley, which means Burnley win or draw. That's X2. You can play that as well for that game. Then the final game, which is Manchester United Tottenham Hotspurs, and play both teams to score. That's this goal, or you play it 1x Manchester United win or draw. I don't see Manchester United losing that game because if they do lose that game, then I don't even think they'll be able to leave Ragnick to the end of the season. So he knows that his job depends on this game, not just this game, but this one of the games as well. His job depends on. So once again, thank you all. This is my first live video on YouTube. If you get to see this, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, comment, and turn on your post notification for future sporting events that will be coming up. And I'll also be keeping you up to date with football transfers as the news break out. I'll be giving you detailed updates of what to expect this coming summer because some teams are already pulling the strings and are trying to make their moves now, while others are still waiting for the season to come to an end and see what transfer budget they're going to get from their various clubs. Thank you very much. I remain your anchorman, Chiros Leray. Thanks for watching, and I see you when I see you. Thank you. Bye bye.